Now let's discuss about the biasing with the collector feedback resistor. Here we are connecting a resistance RB in the base circuit to provide the biasing. The one end of the resistance RB is connected to the base and the other end of the resistance RB is connected to the collector. So here this RB forms a feedback circuit that we will discuss later. About the feedback we will discuss later. But remember that this type of connection, that is actually the output is taken from the collector circuit, and while connecting RB from collector to the base, we are providing a path for the output voltage to appear to the input, or the output is a portion of the output is allowed to be appear in the input, and that is called feedback, or feeding back the output to the input is called a feedback. So here the resistance RB act as a feedback resistor. That's why the name collector feedback is used for this type of transistor biasing. And in the previous case, that is in the case of a fixed bias, otherwise we call it as a base resistor method. In that case, the base current IB is solely determined by the VCC, because the RB is directly connected to the VCC. But here the collector base current IB is not determined by the VCC, but it is determined by the voltage across these two terminals, that is collector and emitter. That is, we can say that the volt IB is determined by the voltage across the collector base junction, or VCB, not by VCC. So now let's analyze the circuit. Here also we are having a single resistor to introduce the transistor biasing. So we want to determine the value of RB that should be connected in the circuit to provide a desired value of the collector current. Let IC be the desired value of the collector current. Then from the expression we know that IC is equal to beta IB, where beta is the current amplification factor which is provided by the transistor manufacturers, and IB is the base current which is flowing here. And remember the different currents flowing through the circuit. Here from VCC through RC we are having a current of IC plus IB, and IC is flowing to the collector and IB is flowing to the base. So now to analyze this circuit, let's apply the Kirchhoff's law along this red line, that is start from VCC. So from here VCC, then there is a voltage drop across RC, that is IC plus RB into RC, and then there is a voltage drop across RB. Then we are having a base emitter junction, and then it reaches the negative terminal of the battery. So let's write the equation. So from starting from the point, we have VCC minus IC plus IB into RC, which is the voltage drop across RC, then minus IB into RB, which is the voltage drop across RB, minus there is a voltage drop across this base emitter junction, so which is minus VBE is equal to 0. But we know that IC is much greater than IB. So for convenience, in the second term, the IC plus IB can be approximated to IC itself. For the sake of convenience, we are taking this approximation. It is not needed, but for our convenience, we will make that substitution. So we will have the above equation as VCC is equal to, when we take the second term to the RHS, it becomes IC plus IB into RC, but we assumed that IC plus IB is approximately equal to IC, so it is ICRC plus IBRB plus VBE is equal to 0. Now from this equation we can write IBRB as we need the value of RB, so IBRB is equal to VCC minus VBE minus ICRC. So RB is equal to the base resistor RB, which is to be connected in the base collector of this circuit to provide a desired value of IC is given by RB is equal to VCC minus VBE minus ICRC divided by IB, or this can be written in terms of IB as VCC minus VBE minus beta IB RC divided by IB. So this is the expression for RB. Here VCC is fixed, which is the voltage source which we connect in the circuit, and VB is the base emitter voltage that also the manufacturers will provide, and for silicon it is 0.7 and for germanium it is 0.3. Beta we know if we are having a multimeter, we will get the beta, or the transistor manufacturers will mention the beta value. The RC is the collector resistance which we are connecting in the circuit, and IB is the base current that is obtained using this equation. IB is equal to IC by beta, where IC is the desired collector current for proper biasing of the circuit. So this is the way we can design a transistor biasing circuit with a collector feedback resistor. Now let's see what is the stability factor for this circuit. For that we know the expression for the stability factor as S is equal to beta plus 1 divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC. So this is the stability factor. So to calculate this quantity, we should know what is DIB by DIC. For that, I am taking this expression, that is VCC equal to ICRC plus IBRB plus VBE. That is, to get the value of DIB by DIC, consider the equation VCC is equal to IC, it is actually IC plus IB RC plus IBRB plus VBE. This is the Kirchhoff's law for this red line portions. So now just differentiate this equation with respect to IC. Then the VCC is a constant, its differential is 0. Then IC, differential of IC with respect to IC is 1. Then differential of IB with respect to IC is IB by DIC into RC plus DIB by DIC into RB plus the differential of VBE is assumed to be a constant for a particular transistor, so it is equal to 0. So now what remains is taking this term to the LHS, so we will have 1 into RC is RC plus RC into DIB by DIC plus RB into DIB divided by DIC is equal to 0. Which implies taking DIB by DIC as a common factor, then it will be DIB by DIC is equal to minus RC divided by RC plus RB. Usually the resistance which is connected in the base, that is RB, is of the order of 100 kilo ohms, or it is very much greater than RC, is very few kilo ohms, 1 or 2, 3 kilo ohms, and RC, the value of RC which we will connect in a circuit is usually 1.2 kilo ohms or 2.2 kilo ohms or 4.7 kilo ohms, that's all. But RB is usually 100 kilo ohms, so we can take this RC plus RB as approximately equal to RB by proper mathematics of applying this one in the above equation. What we will obtain for DIB by DIC is equal to minus RC by RB. This is a crude approximation. Anyway, we can take it as a minus some quantity. Now if you substitute it here in the expression for the stability factor, S, we will get S is equal to beta plus 1 divided by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC is minus RC by RB. So it is equal to beta plus 1 divided by 1 plus beta RC by RB. Now even though RC by RB is less than 1, into beta will make it a larger value, and it is 1 plus, so it will be definitely less than beta plus 1, because beta 1 plus 1 is divided by a number greater than 1, so it is always S is less than beta plus 1. So the stability factor for a biasing with the feedback resistor method is less than beta plus 1. But in the case of a fixed bias or base resistor method, the stability factor is approximately equal to beta plus 1. So the stability factor is not so very good, but it is fairly, we can say that the stability factor is fairly good for a biasing with the feedback resistor method. Now the advantages of this circuit is it is a very simple circuit because it uses only a single resistance RB connected in the base and collector of the circuit, and also it provides a better stabilization or a fairly good stabilization also as compared to the base resistor biasing method. And the disadvantages are, these are the advantages. Now if we consider the disadvantages, the stabilization is only fairly good, so it does not give a very high stabilization. And there is a, I told you, the circuit provides a negative feedback, and which reduces the gain of the amplifier. It provides the negative feedback, so it reduces the gain of the transistor amplifier. So this is a disadvantage of this one, or disadvantage of this feedback, collector feedback biasing method. Thank you.